Hello students, so let's see the problem 10 on the chapter income from other sources. So Mr. Rahul, investment during the year ended 31st March 2019 consisted of the following. So first one, rupees 25,000, 9% government securities. So here they're not given the word called as tax-free securities, so it is assumed that it's in less tax securities. And the securities has been issued by the government company. So we need to directly take the amount, means no TDS will be done. So directly the amount will be called as gross up amount. So 25,000 into 9 percentage. So the interest amount will be calculated. Second one, rupees 20,000, 11% developed Delhi Corporation bonds. So again here they are not given the word called as tax-free securities. So it is an less tax securities. And the securities has been issued by the government because Delhi Corporation bonds is nothing but it's a government institution. So again we need to directly calculate the interest amount and TDS will not be done. So 20,000 into 11 percentage. Third one, rupees 30,000, 12% Bombay Port Trust bonds. So again, it's in less tax securities and issued by the government, that is Bombay Port Trust bonds. So it's an related to government institution. So directly we need to calculate the interest, that is rupees 30,000 into 12 percentage. Next, rupees 5,000, 7 years post office national savings certificate. So in the list called as the securities which are fully exempted from the tax, in that list clearly we can clearly see that any securities called as post office national savings certificate and any interest on that, it is fully exempted from the taxes. So post office national savings certificate, it is fully exempted from the taxes. And next, 10,000 7% national plan certificate. And again if you check the list where the securities which are fully exempted from the taxes, so we'll get the plan called as national plan certificate. So again this is fully exempted from the taxes. Next, 15,000 8% government of England bonds. So if you clearly check, it's in less tax securities because they are given a word called as tax free and it is issued by the government. So again we need to calculate the interest amount and that interest amount will be grossed up. Means we are not going to do the grossing up, directly the interest amount will be taken to the head called as income from other sources. So interest will be calculated 15,000 into 8%, so we'll get the interest amount. And seventh, he paid rupees 150 as commission for collecting the interest income. So on the interest, on the total interest, he is going to pay the 150 rupees as a commission. So this will be called as collection charges. So this can be claimed as deduction under section 57. And last one, SBI Saving Bank interest in rupees 19,500. So even this will be taken as an income from the other sources. But they clearly mention that it's a saving bank interest. So we have seen in the theory part, any interest on fixed deposit up to 10,000, no TDS will be done. Above 10,000, the TDS will be done. So we need to do the gross up. But here they have clearly mentioned that it's an SBI saving bank interest account. So interest amount. So enter 19,500 will be treated as gross up amount. Okay. And and 10,000 will be claimed as a deduction under the section called as 80TT. So that deductions will be seen in the chapter 5. Means any interest on saving bank account can be claimed as deduction under section 80TT after the calculation of income from other sources. So here any interest on saving banks of the any banks 19,500 will be directly taken to the aid called as income from other sources. So no gross up will be done. So the income will be 25,000 into 9%, 2,250, 20,000 into 11%, 2,200, 30,000 into 12%, 3,600. National savings certificate, it's a tax-free securities, so nil. National plan certificate, again it's a tax-free security, nil. England bonds, it has been issued by the government and less tax securities. So 15,000 into 8%, you will get 1,200. And last one, SBI saving bank interest, I have given the note that I've already told amount of rupees 10,000 can be claimed under this section called as 80 TTA. So here the deduction will not be applicable. After the calculation of total income, we can claim the deduction. So total interest amount is 28,750, and from that he has paid the commission for the collection of interest. So less collection charges 150 rupees. So the balance amount will be 28,600 will be the taxable income from other sources. Next, we move on to problem 11. From the following incomes of Mr. Lingaraj, resident, for the year ended 31st March 2019, compute his income from other sources. So first one, director fees. It is fully taxable under the head called as income from other sources. We need to take directly. Second, interest on bank deposit. So here, if the amount is more than 10,000, the tax will be deducted from the sources. So we need to do the gross up. But if the interest on bank deposit is less than 10,000, then no need of gross up. Directly the amount will be taken to the income from other sources. Next, income from undisclosed sources. So income from undisclosed sources is nothing but we have the deemed income. Means it is not an income, but as per the Income Tax Act, it will be treated as an income. Such income will be called as deemed income. So under the category called as deemed income, we can see the undisclosed sources. So rupees 12,000, it is fully taxable under the category deemed income. Next, winning from lotteries, they have clearly mentioned the word called as net. So we need to do the gross up. So for calculating the grossing up amount, the formula will be net amount into 100 divided by 100 minus tax rate. So net amount is 28,000 into 100 divided by 100 minus tax rate is 30% for casual income. You will get 70. So 28,000 into 100 divided by 70. So we'll get the gross up amount. So be careful. If they given the net amount, definitely we need to do the gross up amount. But if in case they have not given any information regarding whether it's a net or the gross, then we need to check the amount. If it is more than 10,000 rupees, ultimately or definitely it will be tax will be deducted from the sources. So we need to do the gross up. If it is less than 10,000, no TDS will be done. So directly the amount will be taken as income from other sources. Next, royalty on book return. So entire amount is taxable, but check it out. Any expenditure which has been incurred by the assessee for earning the income. So if you check, he paid rupees 1,000 for typing of the manuscript of the book, which is related to royalty on book return. So 1,000 rupees can be claimed as a deduction under section 57 from the royalty income. So 8,000 into 8,000 minus 1,000. So the balance amount will be 7,000 will be taxable under the head called as income from other sources. Next, income from lectures delivered. So if you observe, the income is earning by the lecturing delivered means is not related. It is related to his profession. Correct. So it is related to profession, and that income will be taken to the head called as income from profession, not to the head called as income from other sources. So this has to be ignored under the head called as income from other sources, but it will be taxable in the income from profession. Next, interest on loan given to relative rupees 7,000. So we have not taken in the first four rates of income, either it may be salary or house property or business or profession or capital gain, and this income can be taken to the head called as income from other sources. So amount will be 7,000, which will be fully taxable. Next, interest on tax-free debentures of a company. They have clearly mentioned the word called as net. So what we need to do? We need to do the gross up. So the gross up amount will be calculated by using the formula called as net amount into 100 divided by 100 minus tax rate. So net amount is 3,600 into 100 divided by 100 minus tax rate is 10% for any interest on securities. So 3,600 into 100 divided by 90. So we'll get the gross up amount. Next, dividend from cooperative society. It is fully taxable. Any dividend from Indian company or any dividend from the unit trust of India or mutual fund up to 10 lakh rupees is exempted. About 10 lakh rupees, the balance amount will be taxable. But any dividend from the a foreign company or the cooperative society is fully taxable. So rupees 8,000 is fully taxable. Next, interest on post office saving bank account rupees 500. So we already know that up to rupees 3,500, any interest on post office saving bank account for an individual account is exempted, and for the joint account up to 7,000 is exempted. So the interest is less than 3,500, so entire amount is exempted from the taxes. Next, interest on central government securities rupees 2,200. So here they are not clearly mentioned the word called as tax free. So it is nothing but it's an less tax free securities, and the interest has been earned on central government securities. So directly the amount will be taken to the head called as income from other sources without grossing up. And last one, if paid interest, so we already taken that rupees 1,000 will be deducted from the royalty on return because it's an expenditure incurred by the assessee for earning the income. So it can be claimed as deduction under section 57. So let us see the solution part. Mr. Lingaraj, resident, calculation of taxable income from other sources. So director fees fully taxable, interest on bank deposit less than 10,000, no TDS will be done. So amount will be taken to the income from other sources. Income from undisclosed sources, it's a deemed income, it is fully taxable. Next, winning from lotteries, they have given the word called as net, so we need to clue the calculation called as gross amount. So then it will be done by using the formula called as 28,000 into 100 divided by 70. So the gross up amount will be 40,000. Next, we have royalty on book return 8,000, and he has incurred the expenditure for manuscript of the books 1,000 rupees. So it can be claimed as deduction under section 57. So the balance amount will be 7,000 will be taxable under the head called as income from other sources. Next, income from lectures delivered. So this income will be related to the profession, not to the income from other sources. So it will be taken as nil. Next, interest on loan given to relative. So such income is not taxable in the first four heads of income. So definitely it will be taken to the fifth head of income called as income from other sources. So 7,000 will be taxable under the head called as income from other sources. Next, interest on tax-free debentures of a company. They have given the net, so we need to do the gross of. So gross of formula, net into 100 divided by 100 minus tax rate. So for interest on securities, the tax rate will be 10%. So 3,600 into 100 divided by 90. So we'll get 4,000 as in grossing up amount and taxable under the head called as income from other sources. And last, next one, dividend from a cooperative society. It is fully taxable. So 8,000 will be taken to the head income from other sources. And next one, interest on post office saving bank account. For an individual account, up to 3,500 is exempted, and for joint account, up to 7,000 is exempted. So the income earned by the assessee is 500 rupees, which is less than 3,500. So entire amount is tax free. Next, interest on central government securities. So they are not given the word called as tax-free securities. So it is assumed that it's a less tax securities, and it has been issued by the central government or government. So no need of grossing up, or no TDS will be available. So directly the amount will be taken to the head called as income from other sources. So amount is 2,200. So total income from other sources is 93,200. Okay, next we'll move on to problem 12. Following are the particulars of Mr. Following are the particulars of income of Mr. Sita for the previous year 1819. First one, dividend received from an Indian company rupees 8,950, and they had given the word called as net. So for any dividend from the Indian company, amount exempted up to 10 lakh rupees. So whether they have given the net or whether they have given the gross, please check the amount. So if it is less than 10 lakhs, amount is fully exempted from the taxes. If it is more than 10 lakhs, the difference amount will be taxable under the head called as income from other sources. So here, dividend received from an Indian company amount is fully exempted from the taxes. Next, second one, winning from lottery, amount received rupees 68,500 and tax deducted at source 31,500. So it is said that the amount is 68,500 has been received and tax has been deducted at source is 31,500. So what is nothing but they have given the net amount and the tax has been deducted from the sources. So we need to do the gross up by using the formula, but there is no necessary because they have already given the tax amount which has been deducted from the sources. So just we need to do the add it up. So 68,500 plus 31,500, the total amount will be taxable as a winning from lottery under the head called as income from other sources. Next, winning from card games rupees 20,000. So they're not given the word called as net or gross. So we need to check the amount. If it is more than 10,000, tax will be deducted from the sources. So we need to do the gross of. If it is less than 10,000, no tax will be deducted. So directly the amount will be taken to the head to the income from other sources. So the amount that is 20,000, which is more than 10,000 rupees, definitely the tax amount has been deducted from the sources. So we need to do the grossing up. So grossing up will be done by using the formula called as net amount into 100 divided by 100 minus tax rate. So 20,000 into 100 divided by 70 because 100 minus tax rate, the tax rate for casual income is 30%. So 100 minus 30 will get 70. Next, interest received on government securities held as investment rupees 10,000. So they have not given the word called as tax free. It is in less tax securities and issued by the government. So no TDS will be done. So directly the amount will be taken to the head called as income from other sources. Next, family pension received 48,000. Now, family pension received rupees 48,000. So, family pension received rupees 48,000 is taxable after claiming the deduction. So, deduction amount will be 15,000 or one third of the family pension received, whichever is less will be taken as an exempted income, exempted expenditure under the section called as 57. Means we need to take the family pension received 48,000. From that, we need to minus the whichever is less value, that is 15,000 or one third of the actual pension received. So after that, we need to take the balance amount to the head called as income from other sources. Next, they have given the incurred or the information regarding the expenses which has been incurred by the assessee. First one, interest paid on amount borrowed for purchasing shares, rupees 3,000. So this amount is related to the dividend received from an Indian company because they have taken the loan amount for purchasing the shares on in Indian company. So if you check that we are not taking the income from the dividend. So if there is no income or we are not consider the income, then we need not to consider the expenditure too because we don't have any income. So no need of consideration of the expenditure. Second one, collection charge in respect of interest on government securities are 2% on amount collected. So this can be claimed as expenditure as a collection charges on what? On the interest on securities. So they told that 2% on amount collected. So amount collected is 10,000 rupees into 2%. So we'll get 200. So 10,000 minus collection charges 200 rupees. So balance amount 9,800 rupees. 9,800 rupees will be taxable under the head called as income from other sources. Next, purchase lottery ticket of rupees 100 rupees. So we already discussed that any expenditure related to casual income will be ignored. Only the expenditure which has been incurred by the assessee for owning and maintenance of the horse races will be claimed as deduction only from the winning from horse races. Other than that expenditure, no other expenditure can be claimed as deduction under section 57. Next, they have given that gift of the gold chain from her friend. So if you observe, they have clearly mentioned that gift of gold chain from her friend. So friend is not a relative, non-relative person, and is receiving the gold chain, which is a movable property, means which can be transferred from one place to another. So the condition says that if any gift which has been received from the non-relative, and if the asset is movable property, and in that movable property, if it is a capital asset, then we need to take the value called as fair market value of the asset. So they have given the fair market value, that is 40,000. So fair market value, if it is more than 50,000, fully taxable. If it is less than 50,000, fully exempted. But we need to take the aggregate or total of all the transactions in the previous year. So if you observe in the problem, he has received the two gifts from the relative, from the others. One, it is gold chain from her friend, is a non-relative, and gift of watch from cousin again is a non-relative. So we need to take the both the gifts, that is 40,000 plus 20,000. So by taking that, we need to check whether the gift amount is more than 50,000 or less than 50,000. So if the gift amount is more than 50,000, the entire amount is taxable. But if the gift amount is less than 50,000, fully exempted from the taxes. So 40,000 plus 20,000 is equal to 60,000, which is exceeding the rupees 50,000. So it is fully taxable. So let us see the solution part. So see, Mr. Sita, first one, dividend received from an Indian company, it is fully exempted from the taxes. Any expenditure on incurred on that income, we need not to consider. Second, winning from lottery, they have given the net amount as well as the tax deducted from the sources. We are just adding up and we are taking the gross of amount. Third one, winning from card games, they have given the amount of rupees 20,000, which is more than 10,000 rupees. So it is assumed that it's a net amount, means tax has been deducted from the sources. So we need to do the gross up amount. So gross up will be done by using the formula called as net amount into 100 divided by 100 minus tax rate. So the tax rate for casual income is 30%. So 20,000 into 100 divided by 70, so we'll get 28,000 by 71. Next, we have interest received on government securities, rupees 10,000. So they are not given the word called as tax free. It is assumed that it's in less tax securities and it has been issued by the government. So no need of grossing up. So 10,000 will be directly taken to the income from other sources. And from that, we need to minus the collection charges at the rate of 2% on the amount collected. So 10,000 into 2%, 200 will be the collection charges. The balance amount 9,800 will be taxable under the head called as income from other sources. Next, family pension received, amount received is 48,000. From that, we need to claim the deduction under section 57. So the deduction amount will be 15,000, maximum 15,000 or one third of amount received, whichever is less. So amount of 15,000 or one third of actual amount received. So actual amount received is 48,000 into 1 by 3. So we'll get 16,000. So 15,000 maximum limit or 16,000 one third of amount received, whichever is less. So lesser value is 15,000. So 15,000 can be claimed as a deduction under section 57. So the balance amount will be 33,000 will be taxable under the head called as income from other sources. Last one we have movable gift from the friend and cousin. Both are non-relative and the asset has been received called as movable gifts. So we need to take the total or aggregate of all the gifts in the previous year. So total is 40,000 plus 20,000, and if the fair market value of the asset is more than 50,000, entire amount is taxable. If the fair market value of the asset is less than 50,000, and it is fully exempted from the taxes. So amount received is 60,000, which is exceeding rupees 50,000. So 60,000 is fully taxable under the head called as income from other sources. So total amount is income from other sources to calculate the balance amount. So balance amount is 10 lakhs plus 28,571, 2 lakh 31,371 will be the income from other sources. So next we'll move on to problem 13. Dr. Ashok, resident, is a professor of economics. So please check it out. The profession is professor or lecturer. He submits the following information and wants you to compute his income from the other sources for the assessment year 1920. So first income is an author of a textbook and received royalty of rupees 45,000. So he is receiving the income called as royalty from book or textbook amount rupees 45,000. It is fully taxable and it claims the following deductions from the amount. So they have given the deductions information. First one, salary to clerk for gathering information for him to write the book. So it is related to income, correct? Because he is earning the income on royalty of textbook. So and the expenditure has been incurred by the assessee for purely related to textbook. So this can be claimed as deduction. Rupees 5,000 will be deducted. Second one, cost of books purchase. Again, it is related to textbooks. So again, it can be claimed as deduction under section 57. And last one, telephone expenses of 800 in connection with the printing and publication of the book. So again, it is related to textbook and rupees 800 will be claimed as deduction under section 57. So all the three has been purely incurred by the assessee as an expenditure for earning the income called as royalty from textbook. So it can be claimed as deduction under section 57. Next, income from articles published in the Economic Times. So it is not related to any other first four heads of income, either it may be salary or it may be business or profession or it may be house property or capital gain. So it can be taken to the head called as income from other sources. And next, he lives in a rented house paying a rent of rupees 4,000 per month. He has sublet off portion of the house for a rent rupees 3,000 per month. So he is receiving the income from or rent from subletting portion. So in rent from subletting portion can be taxable under the head called as income from other sources. That is 3,000 per month. So 3,000 into 12. Dr. Ashok pays the municipal tax for the whole house rupees 4,000. And be careful whenever you see the word called a sublet portion, we need to take the income from the sublet portion and we need to manage the expenses on the sublet portion only, not the entire house property. So the has subletted the half portion of the house property. So we need to claim only the expenditure of portion. That means income from the sublet is 3,000 into 12. From that expenditure, he has paid the rent amount for the house property. How much? 4,000 per month for the entire house property. But we can claim the expenditure only for off portion because off portion has been subletted. So 4,000 into off, so we'll get 2,000 rupees. So 2,000 into 12, 24,000 can be claimed as expenses under the income from sublet. And again, he has incurred the expenditure called as municipal taxes for the whole house property. So this municipal taxes, that is rupees 4,000, is related to entire house property, but the sublet portion is off portion. So off portion is nothing but 4,000 into off, so we'll get 2,000. So that 2,000 can be claimed as expenses. So be careful whenever they have given the word called as sublet portion, we can take the income only from the such sublet portion, and from that we need to claim the expenses which is purely related to only for sublet portion only. Next, he received rupees 200 per lecture delivered at the Economic Institute during the year. He delivered 22 lectures. So be careful. They have clearly mentioned that it's an lecture delivered, and I have already told that his profession is working as a professor of economics. So this income, it is purely related to his profession, not the income from other sources. So this income should not be considered under the head called as income from other sources. It should be taken or it should be taxable only under the head called as income from profession. So it will be ignored. Next, as an examiner of various university, he received remuneration of rupees 5,000. So this income will not be taxable under the head called as income from profession. because he is working as an examiner, means he's going as a practical assistant or some other. So he's not receiving the regular basis. So this income will not be taxable under the head called as income from profession. So if it is not taken under the income from profession, then it will be taxable under the head called as income from other sources. So 5,000 will be taxable under the head called as income from other sources. Next, they have given that his other income were winning from lottery rupees 21,000 and interest on government England bonds rupees 3,000. So they have clearly mentioned that winning from lottery rupees 21,000 net. So net is given. So we need to do the gross up because it already tax amount has been deducted from the sources. So we need to do the gross up. So grossing up will be done by using the formula net amount into 100 divided by 100 minus tax rate. So net amount is 21,000 into 100 divided by 100 minus tax rate. For casual income 30% will be tax rate. So 21,000 into 100 divided by 70 will be taxable under the head called as income from other sources. And next they have given the other income called as interest on government of England bonds rupees 3,000. So they have clearly mentioned that it's an less tax-free securities because they have not given the word called as tax-free. So it is assumed that it's an less tax securities. So and it has been issued by the government. So entire amount will be taxed up. No gross up will be done because tax has not been deducted. So 3,000 will be taxable under the head called as income from other sources. Next, interest on post office cumulative time deposit rupees 1,000 and such securities has been given under the head or the list called as interest which securities which are fully exempted from the taxes. So you can check the list and such income will be fully exempted from the taxes. And last one, interest received on deposit with the firm rupees 5,400. So here they are receiving the interest received on deposit with a firm. So if they not given the word called as tax free, then it is assumed that it's an amount which has been less tax securities. And if you observe, they have clearly firm has been mentioned, correct? So it is nothing but it's an commercial securities. And we have already discussed that any interest amount which has been directly given and if it is earned by the commercial and if it is a less tax securities, definitely we need to do the gross up amount. Means if it is an less tax security and if it is issued by the company or private company and if they have given the interest amount, then we need to do the gross up. So gross up will be done by using the formula called as net amount into 100 divided by 100 minus tax rate. So for interest, the tax rate is 10%. So we'll get 90 rupees. So let's see the solution part. Author of royalty 45,000, expenses salary to the clerk 5,000, cost of books purchase 1,000, and total telephone expenses 800 purely related to royalty income to claimed as expenses or deductions under section 57. So the balance amount is 38,200. Next, income from articles published, it is fully taxable, so 7,000 has been claimed. Next, income from subletting, so he is earning the income from this rent sublet portion is 3,000 into 12. So income from subletting is 36,000 and he has incurred the expenditure. I have already told that only the expenditure which is related to sublet portion has to be taken, not the entire house property. So first one, municipal taxes for entire house property he has paid 4,000 rupees, but for sublet portion that is one off is related to 2,000. So the 2,000 will be claimed as deduction, and he has paying the rent to the owner of our original owner. So 2,000 into 2, 12. So 2,000 entire amount paid by the assessee is 4,000 per month. So in that 4,000 per month will be 2,000 because 4,000 into 1 by 2 will get 2,000 into 12. So total amount is 24,000. So expenses is 26,000. The balance amount is 10,000 will be taxable under the head called as income from other sources. Next, remuneration received for lecture delivered. It is related to professional income, not the income from other sources. So it is nil or will not be considered. Next, examiner remuneration. It is not treated or it is not taken under the head called as income from profession because it is not related to profession. So it will be taken to the head called as income from other sources. Next, winning from lottery, they have given the net amount. So we need to do the gross up. So 21,000 into 100 divided by 70. So the gross up amount is 30,000. Next, interest on government of England bonds. So it's in less tax securities and issued by the government. So directly the amount will be taken as interest amount under the head called as income from other sources. No need of grossing up. So 3,000 income from other sources. Next, interest on post office cumulative time deposit. These are the securities which has given in the list, which is fully exempted from the taxes. So it's an tax-free security. And last one, interest received on deposit with a firm. So it's an commercial securities and less tax securities, and they have clearly given the interest amount, not the interest rate or investment. If they given the interest amount, then it is a net amount. So we need to do the gross up. So grossing up will be done by 5,400 into 100 divided by 90. So amount is 6,000. So the total income from the other sources is 99,200.